Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, HaKodash, double unstilled apostles, a great millstone who do rule well, peace, love, and blessings to the brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make a call and election sure, and blessings to the very few sisters listen, learn, and believing. I'm that Philip Kanakala coming at you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, lessons edifying, also exhorting. And this is basically just be a response to this video here Elder Apostle Tahar did, which is one of my favorite topics. You know, we go into World War III and all the weaponry involved, all right? You know, it excites me a lot, you know, these type of prophecies. But as you see here, Russia will delete Babylon for good. And that is true. Russia will delete Babylon for good. All right? And it's prophesied first and foremost, okay? You know, it's the will of the Lord. You know, people have to understand that if the Most High said something would happen, it's going to happen. All right, regardless of, you know, if the side that he said would win is, you know, under-equipped, so to say, is lacking, going up against someone who's fully equipped, you know, full of strength. The Lord said that one individual was going to win. They're going to win, regardless of the opposition. Okay, but end all be all, America has got to a position to where complacency has been its downfall. All right, and Russia, you know, militarily, specifically, the missile technology has far more advanced missiles technology than America does. Okay, and as we know, according to prophecy, we'll just open up with this real fast. Isaiah, is it 9:6 or 9:8? Let's see. Or it's been a minute since I went through the precept. Oh man, I'm gonna be mad at myself. Let's see. Let's see if we can search it up real fast. Let's see. Oh, it's in the NLT. Sorry. KJV. Yep, 9 and 5. Okay. Is Isaiah 9 and 5. All right. Let's highlight this. Some red. Isaiah 9 and 5 says, "For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." You know, your conventional war. You know, guys going toe to toe. You know, to the point of guys shooting at each other. You know, but this war is going to be with burning and fuel of fire, meaning the missiles. All right, so the missiles is going to be a big part of this war. All right, this is going to be the catalyst. Okay, World War III. The usage of those nukes. Okay, the missiles. All right, so let's hop right into it. All right, I have this article here again. Basically, through the spirit, the inspiration. Russia will delete Babylon for good. Babylon is America, in case you didn't know. So here it is from RT. A couple days ago, it says Moscow's triumph. Why everyone wants the Russian S-400 air defense system. So it's a missile defense system, and everybody wants it. All right, and just, you know, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna read it, and if you can bear with me, I'm gonna read a good portion of this article. But pretty much, people have seen that it's capable of stopping U.S. missiles. So now everyone wants it. Why? Because America's that bully on the block. Okay. So real quick, all right, it says this week Russian President Vladimir Putin will pay a state visit to India, given a specially privileged strategic partnership between Moscow and New Delhi. There is speculation that the countries will agree on new deliveries of both proven, all right, and prospective weaponry. So this weaponry has been proven. All right, we're going to read why. It says, for example, Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh indicated that during the meeting between Putin and Modi, supply of additional S-400 systems would be discussed. The technology is proven itself in battle. About 200 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles were shot down during the most recent Ukrainian air raid on Russian regions. So as we know, Russia and Ukraine, the Russian-Ukrainian war, which America is supplying Ukraine with those missiles. And I remember one time at camp, which, it makes sense. That's where basically America is testing its missile technology, or its military weaponry on basically seeing how would they go about with a head-to-head war with Russia. Okay, so that's why U.S. weapons are being supplied, and it's showing to be that if America was to go to war with Russia, their technology wouldn't, their military weaponry wouldn't stand up, and that's what's being shown. All right, which is beautiful. Okay. Again, prophecy will take place. All right. So this is what America is doing over in Ukraine, is testing this. It's a proxy war, basically testing how their military weaponry will hold up against Russia, and it's not holding up. All right. It says, according to available information, combined air defense battalions were employed in repelling the attack. In addition to the Pantsir and Tor surface-to-air missile systems, these units include the long and medium-range S-400 Triumph surface-to-air missile systems. As the military informally acknowledged, these systems are tuned for other enemy targets, primarily Western-made ballistic missiles. So they were tuned, all right, or prepped specifically, all right, for U.S. missiles. Again, Russia made just tested a missile recently, all right, last couple months, with a range of, I think, like 5,000 miles. And I remember the Elder Watazak said, now why would they test a missile that can go 5,000 miles? Because that was specifically made for the war, all right, with America. Okay, so primarily Western-made ballistic and cruise missiles such as the ATACMS or Storm Shadow. Now, real quick, I put that in the YouTube. All right. You can see here, Ukrainian use American supplied ATACMS missile. All right. So you see it. Ukrainian hits Russian with U.S. missiles. All right. So you see it. You see it's going down. There's one I saw. Let's see. ATACMs fail on camera. Russia destroys U.S. launchers. All right, and that's what's happening. They ain't working. So let's go back, get some more of this, and we'll get some more scriptures. It says, on November 18th, the Ukrainian armed forces attacked Voronezh with 4 ATACMS missiles, and the Russian Ministry of Defense reported S-400 systems and Pantsir missile and gun systems took part in intercepting targets. Debris from these missiles, which were aimed at civilian facilities, damaged the roofs of several buildings. There were no casualties in the city. ATACMs can be considered quite a difficult target, but, see that? Not for the S-400 system. So that's why all these other countries want it, because It was specifically tuned for American missiles. All right. It says, but not for the S-400. The system is capable, and that's the S-400. Russia has S-500, okay? And the S-400 is capable of stopping them. It says this system is capable of engaging targets at ranges up to 60 kilometers and altitudes of up to 25 kilometers. The speed of an intercepted missile can be hypersonic up to 4.8 kilometers per second, which is 14 times the speed of sound. The foil strike on Russian city is just one episode of the S-400's effective combat performance. There are others, for example, combating the guided rockets of the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system, also of American manufacture. All right, so more are American-made weapons being stopped. It says, and the pinnacle of the skill of the Russian SAM or SAM system is considered to be destroying in the air the surface-to-air guided missiles of the system with which the Triumph is often compared. The American MIM or MIM 104 Patriot. This summer it became known that Russia air defense troops shot down about 24 Western-made missiles with which the Ukrainian armed forces tried to strike aircraft of the Russian aerospace forces. Unlike the ATACMs and the HIMARS munition, which fly a long, predictable, virtually unchanging ballistic trajectory, surface-to-air missiles maneuver actively in flight, which complicates their interception. It is the S-400 systems that demonstrate the highest effectiveness in such interceptance, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported. The S-400 Triumph is one of the most modern and best-known surface-to-air missile systems in the world, says Yang Novikov, Director General of the Almaz Anti-Aerospace Defense Concern. The S-400 range and ability to use different types of missiles make the Triumph the most powerful air defense system. Its performance parameters have been confirmed in real combat conditions, and so far, no foreign air defense systems in this class can compete with the 400. That's the nickname, the 400. All right. So it says Russian air defense systems consistently attract interest from foreign customers. The first foreign buyer of the S-400 Triumph was China. Moscow and Beijing reached an agreement to supply several battalions of this Russian SAM system. In 2017, a contract was signed to supply a Triumph to NATO country, Turkey. All right. Which is a U.S. ally. Oh, we might as well finish this. It says in October 2018, during Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India, the largest deal in the history of military technical cooperation between the two countries was concluded. A contract worth $5.43 billion to supply India with 5 regimental sets of S-400 systems. All right. You can see here, all right, the U.S. missiles are being shot down by the S-400. All right. And, this is good stuff, man. Good stuff. So let's get to scriptures here. So Ezekiel 38. So remember, China was supply of this, all right, and India, all right, was supply with this system. And then what? Everybody else want one. I'm pretty sure if your boy Kim Jong-un, North Korea, that president, I'm pretty sure he would get one if he could. Who knows? He might have some. Pretty sure Iran, all right, would love him if they don't already have him. All right. So this is Bible prophecy, as the elder Tahar put it. Russia will destroy Babylon the Great for good. So Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So Gog is Russia. All right. Prophetically speaking, Russia is in that land, all right, of Gog today. So this is talking about Russia. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. All right, so waking Russia up out of that dead state, so to say, once the USSR collapsed, all right, and they were separated. Well, as you can see, Russia is going back to, in that spirit again. So that's putting the hooks in their jaws. Control the Lord controlling them. All right, it says, in all thy army, horsemen, in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. And that's basically talking about their military. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, all right, all of them handling weapons. So this is basically ancient terminology, all right, prophesying of modern technology, all right? Because in Ezekiel, at time, he wrote this, the weaponry we have today didn't exist, all right? So these are symbolic, okay, to modern weaponry. So Persia, all right, so Persia would be considered India, all right, would fall under that, under that category, India. Iran as well, okay, Iran, India, that old Persian empire. It says Ethiopia and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, all right. Gomar and all his men's house of Togomar in the north quarters, and all his men's talking about Turkey, and many people with thee, all right. Other many people, China, for example. It says, be thou prepared and prepare thyself. And they did. They prepared themselves. All right. Because here it is. They going head to head with Western manufactured missiles or weaponry. All right. And they're dismantling them. Okay. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, their allies. It says, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. So, you've been seeing headlines with Trump putting tariffs on India, which India, they have nuclear missiles as well. So plus the S-400 system. But you see it, everyone wants one. Why do they want this? All right, to protect themselves against America, man. All right. So you see the Russians, the Lord going to use the Russians to delete Babylon the Great. All right. This is going to be the end of them. All right. It's like it. We'll close out with that one. Revelation 13. Verse 1, it says, and I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So the 7 head represents the kingdoms of Esau, Edom. All right. The French, the British, Germanium Major, Germanium Minor. It's like a Germanium Major, Germanium Minor. The Roman Empire. No, what else? The French, the British. Greece. I forget exactly the other one. It'll come back to me. I'll put it in the comment section, though. All right, it says, and having 7 heads and 10 horns, 10 horns. All right, you had the 10 horns back then during the Roman Empire, the 10 of vassal states, so to say. And then today, the 10 horns today would be the original signatures of the EU. All right, if you look on that flag, it had 13 stars. All right, Spain and Portugal are the same, and I believe Greece and Ireland are the same. Okay, it says, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw, it's like, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. All right, and that's representative on a macro level, the Greek Empire, but on a micro level, specifically speaking about Alexander. All right, that was the start of that Edomite rule. All right, the so-called white man, his rule is his dominion on the planet Earth. All right, the Greek Empire. It says, in his feet were as the feet of a bear. All right, and that's the Russia. All right, the bear, Russia. Because Russia's going to be an end. He's going to put an end to this system. Okay. That's where, again, as the apostle put it, was going to delete Babylon for good, man. Okay, and now his mouth as the mouth, in his mouth as the mouth of a lion, talking about Britain, and the dragon gave him his power, and that's talking about the Roman Empire. All right, because America basically is Rome reincarnated. It moves off that spirit of Rome. Okay, it says, and his seat in great authority. Okay, so the point when we get it, in his feet as of the feet of a bear. Okay, so there you have it. Babylon will be deleted. Russia will delete Babylon for good, man. So call law Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Makaha Kodash, man. Double Orange Cell Apostles, a great millstone to do it well. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.